Everybody, my name is Ben Molnar, since we haven't been formally introduced because it's an online class. I'm a mechanical engineering student going into my junior year this coming fall. Now, if this were a normal class, I would ask you how many of you guys drink, and I'd probably get a fair amount of you raising your hands. Most people drink on occasion, and they understand how blood alcohol is a thing, and it kind of varies with how much you drink. However, most people misunderstand it greatly. So my presentation is on the effects of alcohol in the human body and how it affects us as college students. So looking at the first slide, we see that gender, race, age, location, gender plays a role, but it doesn't matter because the consumption of alcohol affects everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter how often you drink, it affects you. Now, blood alcohol content is a measurement of the percentage of alcohol within a given person's blood. It varies mostly with gender and weight. It does not vary with drinker tolerance. Most people think that because they drink a lot, they, can drink 8 shots instead of 5 and have the same blood alcohol. This is incorrect. The only thing that having a high tolerance does for you is it changes your perception of your blood alcohol, and your liver works a little faster in metabolizing the alcohol. So it might take you 20 minutes to drop your BAC a little bit versus 40 minutes. So blood alcohol is a useful tool in determining how brain function suffers during the consumption of alcohol. So BAC is measured, usually what we're most familiar with is a breathalyzer. When the cops come and they breathalyze you and say you're above the legal intoxication limit, which is 0.08. The other way to do it is looking at BAC charts. Now there are charts like shown here that show you, weight versus drinks and then how you subtract time into it. So for a 160-pound male having 7 drinks, pretty much consecutively, it's 0.16. Now for every 40 minutes, you subtract 0.01 from that. So let's say it's an hour and a half, you get 0.14 for that. So, looking down here, only 10 drinks for a 140-pound male is where the lethal limit begins. Now, it's important to see that females are actually quite different. If you look at a 160-pound female with 7, they're 0.2, which is 0.04 higher than we saw with the male that's 160 pounds having 7 drinks. Now, why is this really important? As we see in the charts, different BACs have different effects on your body. So in this next coming slide, we're going to look at what it is that we get when we have these different blood alcohol contents. So from 0.02 to 0.03, we have no loss of coordination, nothing major. But coming down the list, you get down to 0.15 here, where, blurred vision and major loss of balance come into play, and above that, you become a sloppy drunk and you may vomit. So, many people, when they describe, especially college students, when they're asked what it is that they want from their drunk, they say, maybe they want 0.15, where they, they're relaxed, they're having fun, but not quite a sloppy drunk. Well, 0.15 is much less than people think, because a 160-pound male has 10 drinks. He's considered a medical emergency. And most people are drinking 12 to 15 drinks within a pregame that might be 90 minutes, putting their blood alcohol somewhere north of 0.3 or 0.4, and that's making death, near possibility. So the important thing to get out of this is when I had, my most amount of drinks, I'm a college student, it might be weird to say in front of a class, but I've had too many drinks before, and looking at my most drinking night, I had 18 drinks, and my blood alcohol was somewhere in the range of 0.45, putting me, well over the lethal limit. And, looking into how I can change this and what it is I want for my drunk, I can see that, 0.15 is where you want to be. The problem is most people don't realize that, when you're reaching 0.2 and 0.25, you're not going to be where you want to be. And for a 100-pound female, 0.15 comes with just 4 drinks. A lot of times you'll see these, girls at parties drinking 8, 9, 10, and wondering why it is that they can't control themselves. And that's because what they really should be drinking is much less, and they're trying to keep up with, let's say, the guys at the party who should be drinking a little bit more to get a higher BAC. So I think the most important point here is just be aware of what your blood alcohol is and how that affects your body. Most people just drink until they can't drink anymore, and then they wonder why it is that they're not, that they're throwing up or their roommate has to bring them home, and it's just, not an efficient way to party and have a good time. So I hope that you guys learned a little bit about blood alcohol, and I hope you enjoyed, and I look forward to seeing yours too. Bye.